Evet, geliyor. Şu an normal. Kameraman arkadaş şu anda pozisyonunu kurmaya çalışıyor. Kurduktan sonra röportajlara başlayacağız. Teşekkürler. Efendim? Pardon?
Harekatlı abi. Harekatlı hareket. Şimdiden başladı. Adam aldı attı sahaya.
Abi hazır mıyız? Tamamdır. Hocayı alabiliriz. Tamamdır. Yes, welcome, coach. Nice to see you. Great, thank you.
A very warm welcome to Ankara in Turkey and a classic CEV Ziraat Group Champions
Yes,
League
coach.
encounter here on Eurovolley
We're
TV.
gonna watch
Two
a
Turkish
derby
super clubs go
Champions
head-to-head
League,
in
if
Pool
you look
B.
at
We're in the
the
TVF
standings in
Ziraat
your group,
Bankkart Volleyball
the
Arena.
importance of
Hopefully that
the
all
match
sounds
is
okay,
so
Omar.
clear. What kind of a match awaits us?
Oh, for sure, for us it's very important game, but also it's the same for them. I respect a lot the team of Galatasaray. I know Gardini from more than 30 years. Will be the very important battle for us.
What's your expectation from this game?
For sure we need the victory and we will give all of our effort and possibility. We need to be involved in every single ball to achieve our result. This is our way and we work a lot for this and we are positive.
Okay, thank you and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, coach. Ben yine hocanın sesini, mikrofon sesini yine duymadım arkadaşlar. Bilginiz olsun.
Haber verdiler geliyor.
Tamam. Tamam. Abi röportaj sırasında şu anki gibi kendi sesimi şu an duyuyorum mesela ama röportaj sırasında duymuyorum. Efendim abi? Tamam, ilk hoca tamam, diğer hoca da geliyor. İlk hoca Halkbank'ın hocasıydı, Stoychev. Şimdi Gardini'yi bekliyorum. Galatasaray'ın hocası gelecek. Tamamdır. Al geç. With my pleasure, yeah, you can come. Tamam abi, hoca gelecek şimdi. Tamam abi, en kötü bunu kaydedersiniz, öyle okutursunuz abi. Hocayı bekliyorum, daha salona gelmedi yani. Gelir gelmez. Yes, coach. We're gonna watch a Turkish derby in Champions League. Also, you have some absence like Thomas Jaschke. How will affect your team the absence of the Jaschke?
Oh, Jaschke have a problem to the knee, so for today he's out. We are checking him, so we are waiting. We also have one middle blocker out, so we have a little bit of trouble in this moment during the season. But anyway, the team is ready. We know it will be a tough match, because Halkbank is full of amazing champions over there. So we need to stay focused and to fight in every ball, because Champions League, every ball, every set counting. So it's really important for us to make a tough match.
Thank you and good luck.
You're welcome.
Okay. Ci vediamo. Grazie mille. Teşekkür.
A very warm welcome to Ankara in Turkey and a classic CEV Ziraat Group Champions League encounter here on Volley TV as two Turkish super clubs go head-to-head in Pool B. We're in the TVF Ziraat Bankkart Volleyball Arena as hosts Halkbank ANKARA take on country rivals Galatasaray HDI ISTANBUL. Simon Golding with you for this one. Visitors Galatasaray looking for win number 2 in the 4th round after game 1 5-set victory over Belgian club NAC Rosslare, but unfortunately they don't have any Thomas Yechki, and another middle blocker is missing as well this evening due to injury, so that could be a problem for Andrea Gardini's team. Home side Halkbank, well, 4th place in last year's tournament. They were brilliant then, and they'll be looking to bounce back though from their game 1 straight sets lost to Poland's Lublin. I think we got a really good game on our hands tonight. However, Andrea Gardini already expressing a concern about the fact that Yechki is having a knee injury looked at, so he's going to be out for this evening, which means responsibility will fall to the others.
Derby in Champions League. Also, you have some absence like Thomas Jaschke. How will affect your team the absence of the Jaschke?
Oh, Jaschke have a problem to the knee, so for today he's out. We are checking him, so we are waiting. We also have one middle blocker out, so we have a little bit of trouble in this moment during the season. But anyway, the team is ready. We know it will be a tough match because Halkbank is full of amazing champions over there. So we need to stay focused and to fight in every ball because it's Champions League, every ball, every set counting. So it's really important for us to make a tough match.
Thank you and good luck.
You're welcome.
Okay. Yes, coach. We're gonna watch a Turkish derby in Champions League, and if we look at the standings in your group, the importance of the match is so clear. What kind of a match awaits us?
Oh, for sure, for us it's very important game, but also it's the same for them. I respect a lot the team of Galatasaray. I know Gardini from more than 30 years. Will be the very important battle for us.
What's your expectation from this game?
For sure we need the victory, and we will give all of our effort and possibility. We need to be involved in every single ball to achieve our result. This is our way, and we work a lot for this, and we are positive.
Okay, thank you and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, coach.
Well, two fantastic and very experienced coaches looking after their teams tonight, and tonight's match has a real who's who feel to it, with some major volleyball celebrities across the squads. In their Turkish league encounter back in October, Halkbank ran out 3-0 winners, but it was a very close and terrifically entertaining game. So the omens are good for another big night, with of course the exception of a couple of players on the Galatasaray side. Galatasaray coached by Italian legend Andrea Gardini, and with their powerhouse offense of double Olympic champion John Patry. We just saw him going into the changing rooms a little earlier, and the Canadian Olympian Stephen Marr alongside some seriously good Turkish stars. I think they're going to be a tough team to beat this season when they are at full strength. So remains to be seen who Andrea Gardini is going to put in to fill the empty slot with Yechki missing. But they do have a fantastic captain and setter. We'll be looking forward to seeing Aslan Ekşi hopefully in action. And there's another great setter on the other side of the net. There he is, Ulaş Kiyak, 34 years of age now. And he'll be setting to some really fantastic players under coach Radostin Stoichev. His dressing room full of volleyball superstars to call on. The two setters, I mentioned Ulaş and also Arabostan. And then they've got a host of compatriots alongside them, plus big names like Mati Kaczynski, Yoandi Leal and Alexander Swivka. Plenty of strength and depth in this Halkbank lineup.
So we are waiting. We also have one middle blocker out, so we have a little bit of trouble.
Mr. Gardini again speaking to us earlier. Those are the two captains that I mentioned, two fabulous setters to watch. Aslan Ekşi in the twilight of his career, the left-hander, 40 years of age, but he's a great player. He's got some fantastic stuff in the locker, and they're going to need him tonight. They're going to need him to be really big, because Galatasaray are going to be under pressure, that's for sure. Halkbank ANKARA looking to open their account after that loss to Lublin. a solid 3-2 victory for Galatasaray against Nakrosler, but it was a battle against the Belgian club to get through it. But as you heard Gardini mention, sets are important. They've got to win every single thing they can get their hands on to make sure that Pool B looks as tasty as possible in a few weeks' time as we head towards the business end of the CEV Champions League. Well, thanks for joining us here on Eurovolley TV. It's always an interesting one when you have two teams from the same country playing in the pool. But I think it produces some of the best volleyball. It's a wonderful opportunity for them to play just a little outside of the league regulations, so no restrictions on the number of overseas players that can be out there. So there is the lineup for both teams. As I said, with the absence of Yeşki, and it's a big name to be without. From Halkbank ANKARA's point of view, well, they just have quality to go to across the board. Whether it be in that setting position, in the opposite slot as well. And then left side, well, it's just dream territory, the likes of Leal and Swivka. In the opposite slot, they've got Dimenla and Marek Shotele. Shotele, the Czechia international. I wonder how much of a role that Kaziski's going to play tonight. He'll be the oldest man out there in the whole tie at 41 years of age. Former Bulgarian international. Applied his trade all over the world and been successful everywhere he's been, and you can say the same of Brazilian superstar João de Leal. Second season here with Halkbank after leaving Lokomotiv Novosibirsk, but prior to that he was in Italy with Piacenza. And then on the other side of the net, probably the big name that Galatasaray are going to have to look at. There is Leal, incidentally, will be Jean-Patrick, and Stephen Marr are going to have to go big. But you just cast your glance across these two squads and it's very obvious there's plenty of quality there. Leal can still deliver some seriously punishing serves, and when he gets it right, that tempo ball out to the antenna, very tough to stop. And then Stephen Marr of Canada, another player that has played successfully in Italy with Monza. He was part of that fantastic Monza season 2 years ago, but here in his first season with Istanbul. So we go through the countdown. There's another Canadian involved tonight as well. Hofer, we just saw him. He's on the Halkbank side of the net, and there is Jean-Patrick just getting a few last minute bits of data from the assistant coaches. He's going to be carrying a huge weight tonight in terms of his scoring. And there is one of the best middle blockers ever to play the game, Andrea Gardini, 1996 silver medalist with Italy against the Netherlands in one of the best Olympic finals that ever was. Unbelievable player. Would love to have seen him out on the floor in this kind of company. So just about good to go with the last of the formalities. Warm-up is over, so we'll be meeting the referees for this one very soon, and then we'll be getting the starting lineups out onto the floor. And as I say, we're going to see where Andrea Gardini is going to go in the absence of Tomasz Jeśki. Well over 3,000 people watched their league encounter in October, and that was a cracking game. It went 3-0 to Halkbank ANKARA, but the scores were tight. 29-27 third set. Galatasaray are going to need to be every bit as good as that. Well, two very well-known coaches, former pro and international players as well. Radostan Stojcev was a very good setter back in the day. Lovely moment. They love their volleyball here in Turkey. The fans are passionate, and they really do make what is already going to be a fantastic evening. They really do make it. So the Champions League anthem rings out around the building. To the coaches showing us their lineups for this evening. But even with injuries, there is still strength and depth. And Galatasaray are going to have to call on that if they want a second win. Galatasaray in the traditional red and yellow kit. And the dark shirts, Halkbank ANKARA looking for win number 1 this season, because they want to go the distance. Went to the Super Finals last year, they want to go all the way to the last 4. Last part then of the formalities. Lots of players know each other really well from international duty and Pro League time as well, so seeing quite a lot of the players in the warm-up spending a bit of time having a chat. But now it's game faces on. And Mark, 2 Canadians, just exchanging a brief word. And let the games begin. It is going to be noisy, it's going to be passionate, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this one. Let's see where Gardini goes with his lineup momentarily. Kenneth Aro will be our first referee from Finland. Ergel Akinci will be our second official from Turkey. Proud moment for the referees appointed from the roster for this one. Okay then, we wait to see which lineup Andrea Gardini is going to put out on the floor. I'll try and keep up with the numbers as we go. Gorken is going to be through the wing, so he's going to be the replacement for Yeşki. Setting is going to be the veteran, the captain, Arslan Ekşi. Number 21, Romeo Alonso, Cuban middle blocker. And then 5 and 15, the 2 libros, Yannier Gul and Hassan Yesilbabak, will be both getting some time out there on the court. So Alonso through the middle with Tumet. That makes up that middle unit. Very strong, but again, they've had to make changes there. It's not ideal. It's not ideal for Coach Gardini coming into this one. But he's got some quality on the floor. And they will look to enjoy this one. It is a start for the veteran, Mati Kaziski. Into his 40s and out onto the floor. Leal also going to get a start. 77 years between the two of them. Marek Shotele, left-handed Czechia, is going to play in the opposite slot. Number 4 in the middle. So Baltashi is going through the middle with Metin. And then it's Ulash at the setting position with Shotele in that opposite slot. And, well, a superstar left side for Radostin Stoichev with Mati Kaziski and Yoandi Leal. Huge lineups and lots of options on the bench as well for both coaches. Can Galatasaray find a way to play without Yeşki? And can Halkbank ANKARA claim a result that the form book suggests they should be taking their first win in the CEV Champions League this season? We're just about good to go then. Volkan Durne is the libero, incidentally, in that different coloured shirt for Ankara, another classy international. Away we go. Halkbank ANKARA in the darker shirts at home here in the TVF Ziraat Bankkart Volleyball Arena, up against their Turkey rivals, Galatasaray HDI Istanbul in those distinctive red and yellow shirts. And not a bad start. Middle run from Romy Alonso. Puts his first point on the board. Great set as well from Aslan Ekşi. Alonso, 28-year-old middle blocker, back to the line to serve. Hits Kaziski, who I said was 41, but the graphic said 42, and still going strong. Nice start from Marek Shotala in the opposite slot. He puts his first point on the board. Both these setters will work a lot of space for their hitters. So watch out for a few free nets and the ball bouncing high here in Ankara. Patri not able to attack, forced to just shovel it over, and a good rangy swing, but it's out. So Baltashi's first attempt is wide. Ulash trying to open up some channels for his hitters. Patri's first go then from the service line. His jump serve tonight is so important. The double Olympic champion then puts it into play. Well passed by Volkan. Leal's first swing is good. That's that tempo ball that Ulash will be giving him all night. As long as he gets the set location, Leal can keep swinging hard like that. Next point then for Yoandi Leal. Now Shotala, left-hander, gets a lot of movement on the ball. Just about contained by Mar. High and wide off the block, reuse from Goshen, and that'll do nicely. So Goshen Yüksel puts his first point in the bank, and that sends Stephen Mar, the Canadian, to the front court. Goshen back at the line, one of the younger players out on the floor, less experienced, takes the pace off, easy pass for Volkan. Little tip out of the pipe is really well touched by the blockers, but the blockers also touch that one on the Halkbank side of the net. Big stop from Samet Ahmet Balhashi. It's a huge stop. First chance to see Leal in action. Had a few shoulder problems in the latter years of his career, but when his shoulder's good, his serve is excellent. Huge. What a pass. What a pass. That's delightful volleyball. That's a stunning ball into the setter. And with the ball on his head, well, Ekşi can basically do whatever he wants. And he's decided to set Ahmed Tümer. And Tümer makes his first point. Great start to this game. Galatasaray at the moment, minus Yeski, living with it. Rash, the skipper for this Halkbank team, just shouting out his attacking options to the players. And that's a decent swing. Tümer puts it long. Well, the reason that you're seeing the players gesticulating to their heads like that, with their palms up to the back of their heads, they're saying to the referee, you can't do that anymore, that's screening. And they want the referee to take a look at that, the frontline players for Galatasaray, just shielding the ball from them, from the server. A bit of help for Rochen from his libero. Setting up the defensive line there, Yanher Egru. Another middle ball defended. Chance for Galatasaray to take a 2-point lead. That's a great pickup from Shotala. And Kaziski can't put it away cross court. Well dug by Goshen. And that's wide, no touch from Stephen Mark. Disappointing for Mar's first attack. 5 apiece, Ankara recover the break. Great touch. Good work, high ball. He's put down hard by Leao, but defended brilliantly again. Ekşi's ability to run this middle from some crazy stuff is really impressive. And the more that Alonso and Tümer can score in that middle part of the net, the more pressure they take away from the wingmen. Second point from Alonso. Well, you may have seen that graphic come up for Ulaş at 45. I might have got my numbers wrong there, but I thought he was coming into this match at 35 years of age. It's amazing the longevity of careers now for players, and players in positions where the demand on the body is huge. Kaziski is a man in point, but maybe the lack of international volleyball for him during the summers over the last 2 decades has allowed him to play this deep into his career. No joy from the service from Kaziski. So Kaziski with an error from the service line, Mar with the error as well. And Alonso puts it in play. Wide, fast ball, all night long. All night long, Ulaş is going to be looking to go there to Leao. And as long as he can move it quickly enough along the net, it's very tough for the middle blockers to get out there and get hip to hip with the wing player. It's really tough to then get off the floor and get your hands over, all of which has to happen before Leao has swung on the ball. 2 points for Leao. Good block touch as well, defended nicely by Kaziski. High ball for Leao. Gosh, he's got it all in the locker, hasn't he? He's got everything. I tell you what, this is amazing shape. Leao is looking like the Leao of old here. Well, I saw the referee give that ball in. And the real-time decision is in. 8-7 Ankara. They have taken a break back now. Jump float, it's another good serve. Pushes Mar out of the system. Kaziski defends again. Well, a tricky ball to play there from Leao, and I think it's feet under the net, unfortunately, from Hasan Yasirburak. Another veteran into his 40s, former national squad. Libero with Turkey. Let's watch him overbalance here. Gets to the ball. Stop his feet going over the line. Wow, the serves are really good at the moment. When they're in, they're making it very tough for the passers. And an out-of-system swing from Leao, the first thing he's done wrong in the match. Well, I don't think Andrea Gardini will be unhappy with the start his team has made, but I think he'll be very cautious about the quality on the other side of the net. Halkbank are putting a lot of pressure on Galatasaray here. And as long as Leao, Şotalı, Kaziski keep doing their jobs out on the wing, that scoreboard will keep turning, the opportunities will keep coming. Second point for Şotalı, he goes back to serve, which brings the diminutive Ulaş to front court at 180. Shortest blocker in that front line for Ankara. And another tough ball for Mar to deal with. They are really going after Steven Mar at the moment. A freebie. Down ball. He's not put down. That is good. That is so good. And he wants it faster. He wants it fast with a peak. A little bit like that, really, for Kaziski. Great shot out of the pipe from Mati Kaziski. Şotalı again to serve. Nice work, moves the ball from left to right as you look at that side of the court, and it makes the pass really tough. There we go, positive contribution then, another block from Baltaji. many players over 2 metres tall in both lineups. 206 is Baltaji. Timeout then called by coach Andrea Gardini of Galatasaray. First bit of real pressure on the away team. Well, I hate to say it, from a neutral point of view, I think really we've seen now the shape of the match. And Andrea Gardini's team are going to have to work very hard to stop what is happening at the moment. They've been served out of system too much. Ma has got to get on in it, and Michel has really got to work hard here to get the pass into Ekşi. They've got to give him chances to run the side out. Off pace, cleverly done. Little tip, he's defended well by Şotala. Tumbling stuff from Halkbank, but really committed. And a free net for Patri. Kaziski gets arms on it, but can't control it. And the man who is the key to taking sets tonight, Jean Patri, double Olympic champion, gets his first point of the game. Boy, did they have to work hard for that. Galatasaray to serve again. This has got to go in. It does. It's a good serve. Ulaş just changes the tempo and height of the ball. As soon as you pulled away that far from the net, even with the jump set, it's difficult to keep the same tempo. Well, only the likes of Volkan can talk to the likes of Yonde Leal about what to do. Leal taking that in good spirit as he goes back to serve. Already thundered one jump serve, which was beautifully passed by Galatasaray. Takes the pace off that one. They're trying to get Ma into the game. He's been battered with the service early on, the Canadian, but that's a nice swing from 2 metres and 1 tall Stephen Ma. It's a veteran passing lineup, my goodness. Just not being tested enough at the moment. I'm sure it's a lineup you want to be trying to beat with pace. I think there's some joy to be had from manoeuvring Leal and Kaziski around. Just try and manoeuvre them with serves short, out to the lines, see if you can get anything from them. Oh, it's an ace for Baltaji to go with his 2 massive blocks. He's one attacking opportunity which he put wide, but he's made up for that. Looks like a heavyweight boxer, doesn't he? Baltaji. And it's another knockout blow off the net, down to the floor, the triple ace. Back-to-back aces for the middleman to beat a rather upset-looking Hassan. We've got about 6 40-year-olds on court at the moment. It's incredible. The quality for volleyball is way up there. Well, you can see how Halkbank ANKARA made it all the way to the Final Four. Last season eventually losing in the 4th place playoff match to Jastrzębski Węgiel. Leal out of the pipe. It's read. It's read really well, and 3 blockers waiting for him. Alonso it is that gets the shutdown. Galatasaray need more of that. 3rd point for Romy Alonso as captain Ekşi serves. Leal with a good pass, taken out of the pipe this time. Back to Şotala. Şotala nearly defended. I love the commitment, both sides of the net. The big name players are throwing themselves around. Jean Patri this time taking the advertising hoardings on and just losing out. Ulaş then to serve, which means a big front line for Halkbank. Too big for Stephen Marr. Schottele gets his man. 4 points for Marek Schottele in that opposite slot, doing a fabulous job. Oh yeah, great stop. Again, out of system ball. Patry goes power tip. Just span away from Schottele when the libero probably could have got there. Well, not pretty, but it'll do. Marr, another big server when he gets it working. What a hit. Straight off the chest of the Halkbank libero, and the return ball from Schottele is equally impressive. Well, if it didn't touch the block, it was out. If it did touch, Marr had to go for it. 5 points for Marek Schottele, Czechia international, playing really well at the moment. Kaczynski then. Good serve on the line. Long set over to Patry. That gives the blockers a chance to get themselves set. And that's why Metin is celebrating. Knew where this ball was going, had time to get there. And that's a really nice finish alongside Leal. Leal got most of that. Second time out for Andrea Gardini and Galatasaray. After a solid start for the first 10 points or so, now really feeling the pressure from Halkbank. Well, Galatasaray knew the pressure they'd be under coming into this game. Never want to be a one-player team, but it's amazing the difference it makes to the balance of your lineup when a key player, and a key player that passes as well. Tomaszewski very much part in that system. And with him missing, it just looks a little unbalanced. Kaczynski going for the sideline, not quite making the shot this time. But done and dusted, really. Set number 1, 6-point lead for Halkbank. Alonso, second season here with Galatasaray, signed from the Italian league with Piacenza. Good containment from Kaczynski. Well, they're looking for the middle again. Metin doesn't put it away, but the blocking quality at the moment is huge. Metin Ertuğrul doesn't get too panicky about not making the attacking shot, just gets lined up for the block. Over the net once more, well fielded by Tümer, and gets a piece of that as well. She has to set Patry. There wasn't much else available, but the quality of the net play from Halkbank Ankara right now is out of this world. Another block for Leal. Patry stopped. Halkbank are running riot at the moment. Another out-of-system ball. It's well hit. It's a good finish from Gocen. But they can't survive in the match with hitters isolated like this. We're going to see a switch, we are. So, normal opposite player. Hankoc is going to come in, and it looks like he's in as a blocking substitution for the captain, Ekşi, who at 1.99 m is not a short setter. But the younger man, 22 years of age, 2 meters tall. Koch is on to try and make an impression, and also on the other side of the net, we've got Alexander Swivka. Just being given a chance by Radostin Stoichev to get into the rhythm of the match, passing Patri's serve. That's a cracker from Volkan. Just a little slow in the middle. It's a nice read from Timur. And for all of Tashi's contributions in the block and from the service line, his offence is 0 for 2 at the moment. Nice blocking from Timur. Nice serve from Patri. Just clipped the net, and Volkan left to do a limbo under that ball. Nice bit of matrix action from the libero. And with that service going out of court, that's pretty much last chance saloon for Galatasaray. Şotala will now try and bend that ball across the receivers with a big left-handed swing and seal the deal in set one. Gorchen tight to the net. Gets a good shutdown on that one, but it carries on. Right, new setter in court. And the double substitution is tried by Andrea Gardini. So Koch coming in and Michael Patrick Wright of the USA coming in. But there's no way through at the moment, and the shortest blocker on court, Ulash Kyak at 180, gets the shutdown. Really enjoy that one. Set points, plenty of them. Şotala goes hard at it. Ma passes well. And this time, Gorchen manages to find a way past the block. Swivka into a passing role. Ahead of Koziski here, the Polish international, Olympic silver medalist in Rio and in Paris with Poland. Gorchen then to try and find a run of points here for some momentum. Good pass from Volkan. Oh, great blocking. That's a fabulous piece of work out wide from Koch. In fact, it wasn't Koch that got him, it was Timur. Take that back. My apologies to Ahmed Timur, taking away the block from him. It's a foot fault, and that's the end of the set, unfortunately. Well, Galatasaray put under the cosh really for the whole of that set. They responded well to the initial pressure, but just couldn't hold off Halkbank ANKARA, who run out pretty easy winners in set number one. And they take a 1-0 lead. (25-18) then in 24 minutes. If Halkbank can continue this form and win this in straight sets, that'll be a huge boost to them in what is a tricky Pool B. Midland look to be in fabulous form right now, the Polish team. Knuckles are going to make it difficult for you, particularly away from home. So there's a couple of problems Galatasaray need to overcome, not least the TVF Ziraat Bankkart Volleyball Arena. Several purpose-built, spectacular arenas for the sport of volleyball here in Turkey. They have the teams, they have the fan base, and they have a wonderful top division here. And we've got two of their finest on show right now. Halkbank ANKARA, the home side in the darker shirts, getting off to a good start. They've taken their opportunities really well here. Galatasaray were always going to be under pressure because they are understaffed. Two key starters out of the lineup for this match. But it's more than that. It's more than that. Halkbank ANKARA's serving and blocking schedule was just terrific. Koziski comes back in for Alexander Swivka, but that's a quality substitution if you need to make it. Bringing Swivka into the party. Shotelet has had a really good game. It was tricky, I think, when you're from a nation that isn't necessarily winning titles on the big stage, and Shotelet has been a quality pro for a number of years now. Gökçen in the number 6 shirt, the man who's had to come in to replace Thomas Jeski. Stephen Marr given a good workout in that first set. The serving from Halkbank directed at him for the first half in particular, and it kept Galatasaray out of system, and that's where Halkbank need to keep their opponents out of system. Don't let Ekşi work his magic at the net. Well, cracking game, just not as close as the league match back in October, which could have gone either way. Halkbank very much in control here. Second set then, Galatasaray captain Aslan Ekşi to get things underway. Serves deep, Volkan passes well as he has done all night, and Koziski goes for the fingertips of the block. Radistin Stoichev is incensed. Absolutely incensed. This is not called a touch. Ooh, wow, pretty close to Patri's fingers there. If not the backcourt player. And we do get a very sporting gesture there. Well played, Gökçen. The 21-year-old wing spiker admits the touch. Radistin Stoichev says a very well-deserved thank you, but that's not the start Galatasaray needed. Good serve from Koziski. Marr, ball too wide for him, takes it left-handed off of Shotelet's block. So good work, nice inventive work from Stephen Marr. Comment from USA Olympic medalist of many years ago, Boxtvet, it still rings in the ears. About having a toolbox, the wing spiker needs to have a toolbox with plenty of tools in it if you want to get the job done at this level. And, Stephen Marr there just showing that wrong hand and a tip sometimes to get the job done. That's a great piece of work from Koziski off the block. Patri is being patrolled well at the moment by Baltashi, but also Galatasaray's block functioning nicely. Gökçen, Alonso, Patri making a three-man block. Two apiece, Alonso to serve. This is how Galatasaray started the match, going point for point. How deep can they take it? Another great pass from Volkan. Oh, it's good D, that's unlucky. I tell you what, Volkan is doing an unsung hero's job right now. The libero for Halkbank is getting targeted and he's passing, I'd say, pretty close to 100% right now. Galatasaray need to look at their serving options. Shotelet, tricky ball. Nice swing, good power swing from Ma out of the back line. He's an absolute beast. He's Stephen Ma, former Master University player. And in Canada, they've got a strong uni system out there. And the other Canadian involved in tonight's match, although not on court yet, Brody Hofer, former Trinity Western player alongside Eric Lupke. Yeah, nice. This is really nice. That's 2 on the bounce from Ulash. And the deception there wasn't the fact that 4 players were available in the same tempo. It was the fact that he's gone back to the same player. That's clever. Then for Kaczynski. They are about to unleash another big serve. Oh, he put some fizz on that. And did you see the cut he tried to put on it as well? That moved a long way. That's a really good leave by the passers. Chen thrown into the deep end tonight, but he's coped well. Solid pass. Baltashi still can't get a ball killed. Not a problem for Ma. Schottler with the overpass gives Ma the swing. So 3 attacks from 3 now for Baltashi, and he hasn't put any away yet. Don't expect to see Ulash go middle again here. So the blockers can really look for the signs about where this ball is going. Or not. Galatasaray just cannot afford this. They have to keep the serving pressure on. Baltashi, good sharp float serve down the line, and another clever play from Ma. He's mixing it up nicely here, Stephen Ma. Trying to get the job done. Whenever he's given the ball, power tip makes the shot. 4 points for Ma. Ahmed Tumer back to the line. See a lot of this nowadays. I don't know if you noticed that, but the passing lineup were in one particular position, and as the ball was thrown up for the serve, then Volkan jumps into the middle slot and pushes Leal out to the line. It's clever stuff. They're basically blindsiding the server. You can't quite pick off the player he wants. Again, Stephen Ma forced to manufacture a swing, and he's done it really well. 5 points in offence then for Ma. Radostin Stoichev just getting a little antsy down there on the sideline as Galatasaray put some pressure on. But pressure only builds with momentum, and momentum is, well, I heard a definition the other day, is defined by doing one positive thing after another, putting one positive thing on top of another, and that's momentum. Galatasaray have very little of that at the moment, because after every good action, a serve error follows. Fortunately for them, Kaczynski is in charitable mood. Now let's see if Ma can whip one of his tricky balls into court. Parts what's left of Mati Kaczynski's hair. Also, oh no, I thought it was out, but it's hit the back line. Andrea Gardini's not so sure. Tugrul isn't either, but he gets the ace. The middlemen cashing in on the aces tonight. And this is where Halkbank started to turn things around in set 1. This is where Galatasaray's response is so important. Baltashi really angry with himself that he's not picked off the pipe here. he was there. He was there. But it's a good swing once more from Mark. Very important serve this. They've missed the last 3. Alonso's got to put this in. No messing around with the passing lineup this time. Volkan shovels it in well. Ulash can't stop himself. Setting the one-hand reverse. Schottler saves. Tumbling defence from Mar. But now Halkbank have control and Schottler has the point. Making it look pretty easy at the moment. Marek Schottler using all 2 meters and 7 of his height to go past the 2 blockers, Gokchen and Tumet. Just like Italy, Turkey have their cheerleaders that will just keep the noise going all night. Free ball, Halkbank looking to make a 2-point lead here. Oh, it's crunching blows. Schottler followed by Leao, 2 of the sweetest spikes you will see. Both men moving very nicely on the scoreboard. 6-point for Leao. More pressure. Schottler just clips the neck tape and the deviation was enough to beat Gokchen. I think Gokchen has coped pretty well with the situation up until now, but he's really feeling the pressure now. Off-pace serve dealt with by Mar. That takes him out of the pipe. Gokchen goes straight into the block. It's coming back. Well hustled by Galatasaray. And there it is again, the pipe. This time though, Kaziski running out of steam. Covered pretty well by the middle. Leao's reaction tells you all you need to know. He wanted that ball. He wanted that set wide. Patry to serve. Stoichev's well into this, isn't he? He knows how important a win tonight is. There we go. There we go. The block he's just beaten isn't short. 2 meters and 2 and 199, and Leao has made it look like the block wasn't even there. This is fascinating, seeing Yohann Leao back in this kind of form. I thought when he left Italy that maybe with the shoulder problems, etc., his career was done, but anything but. Patry off pace, Volkan makes the play. Baltashi stays out of the way this time. Oh, it's a good effort from Patry. Couldn't quite get the ball high enough. And Kaziski, comfortable swing down the line. Out of system ball for Schottler. Blocked well. Blockers are moving beautifully down there for Galatasaray. Oh, really nice. Back and forth. Ahmed Tumet's footwork was just quality. Very nice double shutdown on Schottler. Super disciplined blocking from Tumet. Third block of the match for Ahmed Tumet. 13-11 though, Halkbank still leads, so once again the pressure on Gokchen. Dial it back 10 years to Kaziski and Leao's heyday, and I wonder if the 17-year-old Marek Schottler ever watched them play on TV, and whether he ever dreamt he'd be on the same court as such luminaries. Clever late block. It's good work from Ertuğrul. Fellow middle blocker, Baltaji, once again to serve. Hits it really nice and flat, this float serve. It's like a nasty ball to pass. Quality from Patry, what a pick up from Leal. Lovely, lovely ball from Ulash, but Kaziski now just getting found out on a few swings. Remember, they've got Swivka on the bench. Galatasaray just can't quite break this 3-point lead down. And the service errors continue. It's really frustrating from Galatasaray's point of view. They're not making Halkbank play just yet. So Ulash to the line, captain the set really well tonight. Yeah, it's good. Alonso, always available. 4 brilliant middle blockers for Cuba a few years ago. Alonso was one of that group. Forced to pass for the first time in a long time, but he passes well. And the pace on the ball from Ulash to Schottler, really impressive. Watch it, you cannot compete as a middle blocker. And Alonso is quality, world class, and he could get there. Kaziski then needs something to go right for him. It's a good serve, but it's a nice pass. And Ma takes the tempo ball, Leal style, out on the antenna, bangs it into the angle. Coming into his game here is Stephen Ma. 7 points now. He's been the shining light in set 2. He's been the player that's put it away consistently. Alexander Swivka is in then. The Polish star is on court. In once again for Mati Kaziski. Well, you can't have him back, but Stephen Ma would dearly love to have another go at that one. Not like the old days. I don't know how many of you listening remember that. You could toss the ball, if it wasn't right, catch it and go again. The block is fessed up to by Leal, so that's nice to see, a return of the sporting gesture we saw earlier. Alonso gets his point. Robbie Alonso 5 points in the game. Well, the set drifted, but Schottler's still got an incredible arm on that. This is brilliant adjustment in the air from the lefty. And I'll tell you what, this is the most animated I've seen Radostin Stoichev in a long time. He is desperate for this win, and he wants it 3-0. Well, he's going to get 2-0 at the moment, the way things stand. New player on court then for Galatasaray. So Gokchen has been taken out. Out of the back line, Ma remains the top scorer and the key man. A little swing in momentum, enough for Radostin Stoichev to just ask for the timeout. Still trying to catch the number of the new man on court for Galatasaray. I'll update you shortly. Probably going to be on a Gennady. They're mic'd up. I thought I saw that earlier. The drummers are mic'd up. It's a full gig. So much part of the fan engagement on the CEV Ziraat Group Champions League. Crowd really are part of the match. as are you guys watching at home. They are off the net this time and still finds a way to the floor. Well, it was initially allowed to play on. Initially that was played on, but Stephen Maher's body language tells you that it was down. One hand, one bounce, unfortunately, doesn't count in volleyball. They are 7 and counting. 4 points up on the board means that he can swing as hard as he wants on this. That doesn't bode well for Galatasaray's passers. Oh dear, he has absolutely crunched that. Hassan not even close to getting his platform ready to pass that. Leal adds to his tally with an ace. Time out to Nelson Stoichev. To Andrea Gardini, my apologies. He's the coach under the most pressure tonight. And the Halkbank fans delighted. It's a long old journey midweek for the opposition fans. For 445 kilometres to be precise-ish. So about 5 hours on the road. Driving from Istanbul, southeast, down to Ankara, the capital. Leal then, after the break, takes the pace off, still a clever serve. It's a good swing, nicely defended by Volkan, who's having a good game, and shoved down the front. On the double substitution, Koch takes maximum opportunity. And backup setter, Michael Wright, delivers the ball. So the double sub called once again. It is United, incidentally, who's come in for Gökçen. And it's a good serve from him. He's made an impact. Wright once again goes to his hot arm right now, which is Koch. He's loving that. 22-year-old Turkey opposite national squad player signed in the off-season from Akkaz Izmir. Really good athlete. 2 metres tall, packs an absolute punch right side. And once again, the momentum swing brings it back to a 3-point game. It's still not great for Galatasaray. Halkbank in control here. But it's at least a positive that they've reduced the lead. Kaziski then is back on for Swivka. Swivka's nice contribution to set 2. Kaziski, not the cleanest of points, but it is his point. He's still, Mati Kaziski, to watch him in the warm-up, he's still an absolute metronome. I think you could put a postage stamp down on the court and he could hit it every time. Now, double ace man. Middle blocker, Baltaji at the service line. Can he find a third? Second serve was a trickle ace. The second ace he got trickled off the net, but the first one was genuine, and the second he served well since. Another replacement coming in for blocking duties. Berk Dilmenle is on court for his height. Maher power tips off the block, doesn't get the reuse he was after, and the blocking substitution from Radostin Stoichev has worked. No setter on court at the moment for Halkbank. And a second timeout is called by Andrea Gardini as he watches this set drift away. part of being a professional player and a professional coach for that matter, that you are trying to find solutions to problems throughout an entire match. Galatasaray and Coach Gardini have a lot of problems to solve in this game, but they're still working hard to try and do that. And it's been really positive. Wright coming in, using Koch on a couple of balls has worked. Has to chase that one down, does so really well, and Stephen Maher hits a great out-of-system shot. Heavy fall for Marek Schottler. Close to double figures now, Stephen Maher, and Schottler's taking a bit of time to get up, but he's okay. Just frustrated, I think, that he didn't make the play. Kumer then at the service line. High ball toss. This time they stay where they are, the passers, and yet again Kumer just bungs it straight over the baseline. He's blocked well today, Kumer, but he's had little influence with his service or with his attacking. Double substitution, or Ulash back in anyway. Not the double sub, just the blocking sub. Captain's back on. Defends well. Nice work. Maher again. Out of play. No touch on the block. Well, Stephen Maher is asking Andrea Gardini to go to the challenge. Had many video challenges tonight. In fact, I think this is the first. It isn't in. It is not in, and it didn't touch the block, so this is not going to go Galatasaray's way. It is going to be a 2-0 lead for Halkbank ANKARA. And there we go. That's the end of the set. And it's a 2-0 lead. Andrea Gardini, I think, suggesting that the challenge was wrong. He wanted the block touch challenged. It's all done now though. 25-18, 25-19. Halkbank ANKARA are in complete control of this Pool B match against their compatriots Galatasaray HDI Istanbul. As Andrea Gardini said in his pre-match interview, they knew this was going to be a really tough match. I like the way he referenced the superstars on the other side of the net. I thought that was a really nice touch in the interview. It's one superstar to several others. And he's referring, of course, to Kozeski, Leal and Swivka. But let's not forget Marek Schottler, who's done a fine job in the opposite slot. Didn't get used as much by Ulash in set number 2, but he's still there. If Kozeski slows up at all in the game, the opportunity to bring Alexander Swivka in is an opportunity most coaches would love to have. So the home team going well. There's your tail of the tape from set number 2. Pretty evenly matched, in all honesty. Galatasaray working really hard, but the area that proved to be massively problematic for them was the fact that after every good action, a service error followed. And So there's no way of developing any kind of pressure and serving strategy against the opposition. Well, positive double substitution, so Wright coming in along with Koch was something that I think Gardini may look at a little earlier in this set if he needs to. Jean Patry has had very little luck tonight. And the problem for Galatasaray has been twofold, so not only are they missing serves, but a lot of the time the pass is errant, so it's not giving all the options to Ekşi. As brilliant a setter as the Galatasaray captain is, he can't magic stuff out of nothing. Not all the time, anyway. Gökçen's back in. Alonso wants to know the rotation. Where am I starting, boss? Well, 5, so basically you're off for the moment. So once the rotation has been checked, Alonso will depart. And in will come Hassan, the libero. Halkbank ANKARA in the darker shirts, looking to keep the foot on the accelerator here in set 3. They've already overpowered their Turkey rivals, Galatasaray, in sets 1 and 2, keeping them down to 18 and 19 points. But they must not let the big players, the likes of Ma and Patry, get into this match for Galatasaray. Making it look pretty easy at the moment on side out. A lot of that is down to the fact the pass has been so good. Ulash, the setter and captain for Halkbank, has had 3 or 4 attackers available each time. But Galatasaray have to put the serves in. They've got to stop making errors from the service line, try and build some pressure with their serving. That might mean a slightly easier ball for Halkbank to play. Patry goes off the top of the fingernails of Leal, who thought he had him there, the Brazilian wing spiker. French double Olympic champion. Finding points hard to come by this evening. There he is, Jean Patry. Fabulous, fabulous player. Out on that right side. Sledgehammer, isn't he? He's an absolute sledgehammer. Leal. Good effort from Stephen Ma to get to the ball, but just too much to do. Brave stuff from the Canadian. Schottler's massive lion tattoos, somewhat obscured by these shirts. Pounds a ball in. Oh, it might have been going out. It might have been going out. Ma just has a kick at it. Another great read from the blockers. Oh, you've got to play. In a split second, you've got to play. Ash makes a mess of it. Quite get over, and Ma gets his point. Double figures then for the Canadian Stephen Ma. Chimère hasn't put many serves in tonight, needs to put one in here. Off pace, Leal passes easily. Schottler out of the back line is patrolled well by the block. And a great change up on the tip. Ma's everywhere at the moment. He's giving everything in defence. One for you, and one for you. Defended well by Galatasaray, and a cheeky put away from Ekşi, who makes sure his international teammate knows about it. A good word there with Baltashi after this little cut shot. Oh dear, under the armpits. For the 3rd set in a row, Galatasaray make a solid start through the early points. It's been around the 8, 9, 10 mark that Halkbank ANKARA have pushed away. Galatasaray have to try and stop that happening. That's better. That's better from the service line. Shotala, what a hit. What a hit. Well, the officials say in. Galatasaray and Andrea Gardini say out. And they are going to look at this on the video. Ball in or out. It's close. It's going to compress, so it's going to be close. From no challenges in the match to two challenges in pretty close succession from Gardini, and he's got this one absolutely bang on. Well, referee can only see it in real time with no lines judges. That's why the technology is there. And, Kenneth Aro can only call what he sees. The Finnish referee says out, video eventually says in. Excellent challenge from Gardini, mainly because it gives Galatasaray a 2-point lead for the first time in the match. There's that little switch from Volkan. He hides Kaziski away to the sideline. And takes the lion's share of the work down the middle of court. I'm sure players hit it faster in World Volleyball than Johan de Leal, but in terms of weight in the ball, heavy serve, Leal's right up there with the best. This hits your arms hard. They're doing it as well, Galatasaray. It's not working though. Hassan jumps into the danger zone and shanks another one. Ace Leal, second one of the evening, takes him to double figures. A genial character. Johan de Leal, and one of the true superstars of the modern game. Slows it down. Chen reacted well there, passed a good ball. New middle blocker incidentally in for Halkbank. Tayaz. It's a big boy Tayaz at 2:06, he's in. Beaten by Ma though. Pressure on here, another out of system ball, Kaziski into the net, and this is the point at which Radostin Stoichev may be considering his options left side. Another 2-point gap opened up. It's not massive, but it's significant in the context of what Galatasaray have managed in the game so far. Wrong player to serve on. You just can't do that. You cannot give the ball to Volkan. He'll just pass it all day. He's in terrific shape right now. It's Tayaz, the new man on court. Kaziski, incidentally, the man that got the point, so he moves to 5. Had it all his own way tonight. Mati Kaziski. Ma, lively pass. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is more like it from Jean Patry. That is why he is world class. That is some swing. Well, if Patry gets moving, if Ma can keep playing like he is, and the middles can just get some hands-on attacks, then Galatasaray are in business here. Good serve from Ma. Pass is good from Volkan, picked up off the block by Leal. Kaziski out of system with 3 blockers to beat, and he does so. Well, I thought the second referee blew his whistle there for a net touch, so it might all be irrelevant anyway. No, that's legal. It's just a good hit from Kaziski. Shopala back to the front line. Ulash goes for it. Doesn't get anything for it though. And Galatasaray in the best position they've been in the match so far. 9-7 up in the third. Every set is important in pool play in Champions League, so really important here. Galatasaray grabs something from the game. Good hit from Alonso. And that's bounced in with Leal still on the floor. 3-point lead for Galatasaray. And surely Radostin Stoichev now is going to think about changing his players, but also a timeout. It's the latter, timeout. No sign of Alexander Swifter at the moment. Very good setter in quite a heated discussion with another very good setter. Stoichev talking to his captain Ulash. Ulash not quite seeing his point. First time in the match that it's felt like we might go beyond 3 sets. Stoichev does not like the drop in form and application from his team, but there's a lot to do with the fact Galatasaray is serving well, and that's a good setting option for Ulash. That's what Radostin Stoichev was telling him. He didn't like the fact that he'd gone to Ertuğrul the middle. He wanted him to go to Schottler, and he has now. Kaziski still on the floor, still no sign of Swifter at the moment. Hands on that. Nice work from Ertuğrul. Schottler though against 3 men with the ball tight to the net. Can't beat them, and Tümer comes up with another fabulous block. That's 5 blocks for the match for Ahmet Tümer. His coach Andrea Gardini did that many times in his career. He really loved that. And Patry has woken up. Jean Patry has accepted the invitation to the party, and he lashes an ace. First ace of the night from the double Olympic champion. It's game on by the looks of it. Volkan, tight ball, well set, and the block is brilliant. That's a super read from Tümer. He is an absolute wall right now. He can't get past the middleman. Second timeout called in pretty quick succession by Radostin Stoichev, because Halkbank are in a bit of trouble here in set 3. That's some sound. Well, any professional player that has played in Turkey will tell you about the passion that exists here. How wonderful it is to play in front of a partisan crowd, and any pro player that has come to Turkey to play for an overseas team in a competition like the Champions League or against the Turkey national squads will tell you how intimidating that is. What a serve. Oh yes, Jean Patry is on fire right now, as is Ahmet Tümer. It's 8 points for Tümer, 6 of them have been blocks. And Patry, his facial expression hasn't changed an iota, but he means business now. Tip is good from Leal. That's a point that Halkbank desperately needed. Damage has been done. Not saying it's terminal in this set, but it's certainly a great opportunity for Galatasaray now. Bit of heavy strapping has appeared on Ertuğrul's knee. Good defense from the middleman at 6 back. Leal swings hard, brilliant from Ma. Oh, super hustle. Free ball. Got to win this point, Halkbank. And they do. Little off-pace dart from Leal. Clever stuff from the Brazilian. Reduced, but it's still good for Galatasaray. This is still an excellent position to be in. They've definitely taken this at the start of the set. In play. Kaziski turns setter, feeds Schottler beautifully. Schottler hits it well. Ma defends wonderfully. And Patry with another fantastic ball. Oh, they're loving this, Galatasaray. They're playing with real freedom now. Pressure's gone, nothing to lose, and they are getting stuck into this match. And this game now feels really different. Patry piling on the points. Guokchen to serve. What a wicked hit from Leal. The whistle had already gone for a net touch by the second referee. Yeah, and it's a pretty obvious one as well. There's nothing for Ekşi to complain about there. Ahmet Tümer touching the bottom of the net as he went up to block. That was hit hard. Right, Schottler. 3 or 4 aces here would be pretty useful. 2, in fact, would help. Galatasaray have to resist. They do. That's a cheeky ball. Ekşi with a beautiful set to Tümer. Right on the money. Long way off the net as well. He's hit that really nicely. The main man through the middle, Ahmet Tümer, has the serve. Another change. Bit of musical chairs from the passers. Leal's getting everything right now. Got to be careful here, Ulash. As brilliant as Leal is, he doesn't want to overuse out of system. Back to another server that can make it all very different indeed with a couple of big shots. Again, Galatasaray's entire focus here has to be on winning this point, getting Leal away from the service line. Crowd want an ace. And Leal provides. Ask and ye shall receive. Ace number 3 in the match for Yohandy Leal. Reduced to 3, and that little momentum shift is good enough for Andrea Gardini. He's had enough for the moment, so calls a timeout just to get his team to refocus on the job in hand. Atmosphere here in the arena to greet the players back to the floor. Leal being implored once again by the home fans to deliver another ace. Lead is 3 points now. No, always tough after that timeout. Good bit of coaching from Gardini. Swiefka's in, but he's in as a passing substitute for Leal. As Aslan Ekşi, the Galatasaray captain, surveys his options. He's been super tonight when the ball has been on his head. Kaziski takes those flat balls so high out wide, he can still get a long way off the floor, Mate Kaziski. And he's drilled that off the top of the block. Tayaz. Shouldn't be a pressure serve, and it isn't. Well, they're generating their own atmosphere down there, Galatasaray, and they're doing a really good job at that. It's not easy when the whole crowd is against you. But the likes of Captain Ekşi and Stephen Marr really making a noise on the floor. Good serve. Good pass from Swivka. Kaziski takes it high and hard off the top of the block and off the top of Ekşi's head. Will be the next server. Marek Schottler is a bit of a passenger at the moment. Ulash is working almost exclusively out to the left side. The captain serves now, but he's going to need to vary things. It's good effort on the block by Ertuğrul. But it's an excellent attack. That'll do for Alonso. Alonso to serve, it'll certainly do for Galatasaray. 4-point lead should be good enough to take the set. Another cracking serve. And Schottler is at last given a ball. And after that, I wouldn't be surprised if Ulash gives him a few more. Swivka out. Back in comes Leal. Kaziski doesn't quite have the same rip on the ball, but he's really good at positioning it out to the perimeters if it goes past the net. Serve errors starting to rack up for Halkbank here. They've lost a lot of rhythm in the game. Conversely, Galatasaray's serving has gone from nothing to quite fabulous. Patry looking for more aces. Oh, he's got it. It's an absolute belter. Straight between the passes. And it looked well inside the baseline. Are they going to have a look? Well, they are going to have a look just to slow the game down, I think. So Radostin Stoichev goes to the camera, goes to the video. It's a ball's width in. That was never in doubt. But he has stopped Patry before the next serve. Back to a 5-point lead. Galatasaray are going to win this set. Ulash does give Schottler another ball, and he goes hammer into the block. Gökçen and Tümer have got him. Impressed by the number 6 and 7's block organisation. That's another cracking effort. Both men got a piece of that. Pace passed well by Ertuğrul. Now lashes it wide. Off the block, that is. Another new player in court, by the way, Adabostan. So replacement setter. Interesting. And I think Ulash and coach Stoichev have had their words in this match. And now the backup setter is in. Great shot. Gökçen now with the positive scoreboard and the big names playing well. Gökçen is playing a nice supporting role. And the double sub will be effected for Galatasaray by Andrea Gardini. Here comes Michael Patrick Wright again. Ohio State Buckeyes setter, signed for SVG Lüneburg from there, and then got picked up as the second setter by Galatasaray in the off-season, but he's a really good operator. He's right, and so's the man that's come on, the youngster coach, well, young in comparison to some players in this match, in his early 20s. Gökçen got pretty close to the surface line again there. Nobody's going to challenge that. Ball's clipped the net, beaten layout. Goes down as an ace, not a pretty one for Gökçen, but he's not going to complain. See, this is where Galatasaray's evening can change dramatically, not just because they're going to win this set, but this is where you find out whether the veteran players on the other side of the net have got the heart, have got the fitness. This is going to be a good test for them. And Galatasaray will feel that the chances are opening up. Another foot mighty close to the baseline from Gökçen, but heard that howl from the crowd there, but it's gone in the net, so it doesn't matter. Don't think Bostan is a permanent replacement for Ulaş. I think it's just a chance for Ulaş to take a little bit of time out of the game and Stoichev to make up. Şotala serves, plenty of set points still, and there it is. The man of the set, Ahmed Umar, with his blocking, his pressure serving, and two very good attacks, means that Galatasaray have set number 3 in the bag. Still 2-1 to Halkbank Ankara, but this is a brilliant fight back from Galatasaray. Well, Galatasaray will be full of fight, full of energy. They're going to come back onto the floor in set 4, really going for this. Ulaş, the captain for Halkbank, has to get his attack strategy right here. And he's going to have to hope that Mati Gaziski and Yonde Leal are still able to execute. Well played to the visitors. Really spirited effort from Galatasaray Istanbul. Remember, they're the team that have a win in the bank at the moment in Pool B, beating Avrasler by 3 sets to 2. Whereas it was a 3-0 defeat at the hands of Lublin for Halkbank Ankara. So a win tonight, very important for the home team. Not losing a set, very important as well, but they've done that now. Halkbank find themselves 2-1 up, but Galatasaray really putting the pressure on. Well, it says no aces there, but Patry definitely got a couple. He has turned it on. Jean Patry looks like the man we know. It'll be a handful for Halkbank Ankara. Steven Maher is the player that has, after a tough start to the match, he's the player that has been most consistent in the game. He's been the glue that's held Galatasaray's performance together, along with Aslan Ekşi, the setter and captain. Scoreline 25-18, 25-19 to Halkbank in the first 2 sets, but what a bounce back from Galatasaray. 25-18, didn't see that coming, I'll be absolutely honest. Galatasaray looked down and out, but Andrea Gardini will be delighted with the heart and the spirit and the character that his players are showing in this game. Kaziski starts set 4 along with Leal out on the left side. Şotala in the opposite slot, but Koch has already come on and proved that if he's required he can do a job. And Steven Maher's right in the middle of it, getting this Galatasaray team fired up. And those 2 veterans, those 2 war horses, Kaziski and Leal, have got to go again. There's a bullfight quality to the whole thing tonight. Şotala needs more service. Frozen out of the game in set 3 and then suddenly asked to do the job and was unable to get it done. Jean-Patry then of France with the serve to get set 4 underway. Off-pacer that sends Leal to the floor. Again, Leal forced to dive. He won't enjoy that at the start of this 4th set. Kaziski doesn't put the ball away once more, and Galatasaray are on the front foot here. This is a massive change, a big swing in the match. Galatasaray have a golden opportunity of taking this now through to a tiebreaker. I know that's a very early call, but Halkbank are going to have to do something here. And I think it's probably going to have to be a change of personnel. Cutter from Gokchen, well seen by Leal. Kaziski getting through a lot of work early in this set. And a very nice change up from Matti. Just cut that inside the block after getting blocked on the previous 2. Very left side. Ziraat is not using Schottler at all at the moment. He is the captain of this Halkbank ANKARA team. Just like Aslan Ekşi, the captain on the other side of the net, real character. Ekşi's having a laugh at the moment. He is really enjoying himself. And why wouldn't you? You got Jean-Patry on the back set. Feed it and weep. And Kaziski's decided it's no more Mr. Nice Guy. One of the giants in his early days. He still is. Still a phenomenal pro. But he was an exceptional athlete. Still cuts the mustard. Oh, don't do me a favour. Ekşi, what a set. Timur can't put it down, but then gets the follow-up block alongside Stephen Marr on Leal. And Halkbank still being given a real run around here. Great arrival from Marr as the 3rd man in the block. Good serve from Timur. Tell you what, Schottler has done phenomenally well with that. Timur's defence brilliant, and that's a real mess. Halkbank making it tough for themselves here. He's going back there again. And this time, just got the one blocker for Leal. And we got a couple of down and outs there. I think she's on the floor, slow to get up. Well, they tried to hide him away in the block. Marr got a bit tangled up in it all. Taji is back on in the middle for Halkbank. Man, he looks like he's been 12 rounds with Tyson Fury. Timur out. The way he's playing at the moment, Ahmed Timur, probably could have left him on to pass as well. He's having a terrific game, but Hassan replaces him, as the liberos do in the modern game, replacing the middles. No touch. Ertuğrul couldn't resist playing it. Marr gets his point, slightly fortuitously. Good touch from Kaziski. Leal on the high ball is stopped again. He's trying to do things with it because he knows he can't beat Patry for height. But his thought process on that, just let the ball drop right down into the net and Patri's block. Timeout. Razistan Stoichev, his team are looking at a very, very tricky situation here. Situation that could see the match go all the way to the tiebreaker. Halkbank have to work hard to stop that happening. Challenge then from Halkbank. On that initial view, possibilities here for Stoichev, who didn't like the decision in the first place. There's a few Inspector Gadgets down there on the floor with the Go-Go Gadget arms. Blockers reaching way, way over the net these days. And, first official Kenneth Aro of Finland wants clear communication about this one, because this is a tricky one. If that's gone outside, the antenna and back to him, then it's trouble, but the video challenge shows that that was still in play. Razistan Stoichev, he's not happy about this. Wants Ulash, the captain, to go and have an extended discussion with the referee to clarify. Actually, the other captain, just wants to get on with it. Well, the evening has turned from really positive for Halkbank ANKARA to a potential banana skin here. This could be a really tricky long match for them, because Ma, Alonso, Patri, the three front men at the moment, Galatasaray looking very sharp. Tirme is having a fabulous game, and Ekşi's just enjoying his hitters starting to play. 5-3, Galatasaray open up a lead again. Not a great set from Ulash. Şotala does really well to play it, and then Alonso, quick thinking from the middleman, gets up and shoves it off of Şotala's hands. These ones where if the player's got his hand on the ball still, it may end up against Alonso. Şotala thinks so. We've got another challenge, back-to-back challenges. How about that? It's just an indicator of the tension down there. Both these teams desperate for this win. This is up close and personal when you play a team from your own country in the CEV Ziraat Group Champions League. I love the fact that this has been chosen as challenge music around the world. One of the best film scores you'll ever hear. Henry Mancini wrote a whole load of them as well during his career. Got honoured last year, many years after his passing. Now here we go. Whose finger was on the ball last? Alonso's in contact. Şotala is in contact. And it's Alonso last. The challenge will be successful. Halkbank have got themselves a very, very important point. And they need to ride this storm out. They've got to get through this phase and hope they start playing soon. It's not Schottler. That's a clever bit of captaincy there from Ulash. Just double checking everything and then has to confirm that in fact it is Marek Schottler to serve, but better to do it right than lose the point straight away. Schottler to serve then. Needs to be a good one. It isn't a good one. And Halkbank ANKARA have lost all of their rhythm. All of their momentum is gone. And Galatasaray here sensing real chances. Ma to go big. So much easier to serve when the scoreboard is positive, when the side outs are coming. Good use off the block by Kaziski. Schottler hits it hard, just a little too hard for Ma. Coach Gardini not happy, but it definitely touched the block, which is why the Canadian played it. Boy, do they need Leal to serve well here. That'll do nicely. Golchen out of system. Patry goes flat at the hands, misses. That's the problem when you choose that spike to get the block. If you miss the block, it disappears into the crowd. Patry doesn't think there's a touch. There isn't. Another massive serve. 6 apiece. Good hit, good pass. Terrific swing through the middle on an out-of-system set, but Alonso confident he's hit the block of Baltashi, and Baltashi eventually confirms it did hit him. There's no hiding place in the modern game. Video will catch you every time, pretty much. Well, the onus is still not on the blocker to confess to the touch. Another chance to go 2 up. Golchen takes the chance admirably. Well, Galatasaray are playing well here, but Halkbank's performance really has disintegrated. Well, Radostin Stoichev trying everything he can at the moment from the sideline just to take some sting out of the game, deflect a bit of energy away from Galatasaray if he can. Pummeling hit from Schottler. Says he's okay. He's collapsed down here into the net. Pressed his knee there. He's up and about though. Oh no, he isn't. He's back down again. Well, when you see the legs concertina like that, it's going to put a lot of pressure on knees, on calves, cramping hamstrings. Yeah. Radostin Stoichev making his point very firmly to the second official. He's injured, he's down. What are we supposed to do? And the treatment is going to go on court, and that's all part of the modern game. If the physios think they could do something about it, in-game treatment they will. The player won't have to leave the court. Well, it's gonna make things pretty uncomfortable for Marek Schottler there. There's more tape to go on. the medical staff with the stretcher were being summoned. Schottler rises from the floor and he's ready to carry on. Quick couple of energy drinks as well. Well, I think the only team that can benefit is Halkbank, the delay. Galatasaray in really good rhythm, and Halkbank need them just to stumble a little bit at the moment, because everything they're doing is turning to points, the opposition. Well, it's an unnecessary delay, and the referee's now having a word with Schottler, and if the concern is about the amount of time that's been taken and the fact that he really should be substituted off before being able to come back on, that's just even more time. So, Marek Schottler asked to leave the court. Substitution. Berk Dilmenla comes in. It's a good replacement, Dilmenla, solid player. But it's just another issue for Halkbank to deal with, and the negatives are stacking up here for the home team, and that's a big negative. After all that delay, to have a serve ballooned out of court like that, that is not the best from Baltaji. Not when you've got Jean Patry waiting to serve next. The switch on the high ball toss, just long, although I have to say in real time that looked pretty close. They've decided not to go for the challenge here, so it is going to go down as an error, and it is just long. Nice to serve. Dilmenla in the front line. Kaziski gets a good block in position. I don't know how much of the block that hit. Stephen Meyer with the error. This is a huge period of play now, for Halkbank in particular, I think. Got to start playing. It's blazed past the block and defence. Chen celebrates the point. Radostin Stoichev challenges to say it's out. Let's have a look at this. That looks on the baseline to me. I think this might end up being a rather costly challenge for Stoichev, a reactive one. That reduces his options as the set goes on. Hasn't gone there in the end, so they let the decision stay with Galatasaray. Good pass, Kaziski. That's a hell of a shot, isn't it, from the substitute? Dilmenla has been on the bench for a long time. Had a little run out in set 2, but he has come on and absolutely pounded that one, and I think that might keep Marek Schottler on the bench for a bit longer. 10 apiece. Galatasaray still have the momentum in the match, despite the fact they're trailing, making it very hard for Halkbank. They are forced to tip, and tips well, and the tall Patry can't get down to defend. Halkbank's chance to push. Kaziski sends another good serve into play. Ekshi goes wide to Mar. They get hands on him. Good blocking from Halkbank. Terrific defence. Oh, that's a brave effort from Volleyball, but it's another wonderful attack from Timur. Some player, isn't he? Double figures then for Time in the game. 6 blocks. Just needs an ace to make his evening perfect. Nearly. Volkan passes. But the block is unbelievable. That's a sensational stop from Alonso. Galatasaray in control again. Mar took his hands away. Leao still went for the angle. Alonso's roofed him. Monster block. Still feels like we might be going the distance here. Halkbank needs something special from somebody. Bartaji returns to the front court. Timmer's run at the service line is done. That's good. Serving for Halkbank. Easy float. Power volley from Mar, defended nicely by Ulash. Goes power hit this time. I heard 2 sounds there. Might have been one off the block. And I think it was. I think it did hit Dilmenle. Yeah, it looked like a little flex of the finger as it went past. We'll see. The camera doesn't lie. And there we go. In the end, Dilmenle falls down the sporting gesture route and admits to the touch. Mar gets his man, gets his point. Galatasaray causing issues here. Oh, that is some play. That is some play. The hit was delicious from Dilmenle. The defence down the line. Not sure. Not sure how much he knew about this, Ergel. Oh, he knew enough. He knew enough. That was brave stuff from the libero. Caner Ergül scores a point. Don't get many liberos scoring during a match. Trouble again for Halkbank. Leao forced to tip. This is a chance for a 3-point lead. Patry has to volley. Not a great set from Ekşi. Leao heavy into the angle. Has he got Alonso? He has. Yeah, he's got Alonso. He's got his block out hit. But this is getting very tasty indeed. This is on a knife edge, this game. Haven't seen Dilmenle serve since he's been on court for Jotele. That's way out. Well, it's the oldest football cliche in the world for the commentator, but it's a game of 2 halves. Not that we have halves in volleyball, but the first part of the match went Halkbank's way. Galatasaray almost carbon copy in their comeback. Serving well, siding out well, defending brilliantly by Gökçen, and Patry tapping it off the arms of the block for yet another point. And the set vanishing pretty rapidly here for the home team. Timeout called for Radostan Stoichev and Halkbank Ankara. Halkbank fans giving it everything here to try and get their team back into it. Tayaz returns to the court for the home team in the middle. Heavy ball from Mar. The serving now from Galatasaray is a real problem. Menlet not putting it down, but they get a decent counter block on Gökçen. Good work, good forceful blocking from Tayaz. Right, can Leal be the hero? They desperately need him to hit a couple of big serves here at least. It's a cracker. Out of system, Patry forced to volley, takes the setter out of the equation. Kaziski, good work against the three blockers. Is this Halkbank's opportunity to turn things around? Double figures for Mati Kaziski. 16-15, Galatasaray with a single break remaining. Leal has to put this ball in court. He does. Good serve. Oh, it's great work. That's great work. Well, he's 199, and when he jumps, actually, his head will be pretty close to over the net, so Kaziski just nails it. 16 all then. And for the first time in around about 45 minutes, the game turns back in favour of Halkbank ANKARA. Timeout called by Andrea Gardini. He's not had to do a huge amount of coaching in that time. His team have been so good. Right then, first little dip in rhythm and momentum for Galatasaray in some time. How do they respond? Leal is definitely forcing the issue here, and another chance to score. Kaziski hits it beautifully off the top of the block. That's so clever, and that's why he's out there on court, for this kind of ability under pressure. Still ends up with a telling off from the coach. Massive serving from Leal, and a couple of very good points from Mati Kaziski means 17-16. Halkbank wanting to continue this run. Off-pace serve, gathered well by Gökçen and blocked beautifully. Mati Kaziski on Jean Patry, monster block. That was awesome. Andrea Gardini will not believe what he's seeing here. His team were in control, his team were heading to a fifth set, and then this man Leal has stepped up. Just out, just a fraction long, but he's done some serious damage there. This is another psychological hit for Galatasaray. And they've got to get back to where they were, got to get back to their happy place. Happy place that was allowing them to serve and block for fun. And they do it again. Alonso. Hybrid serve, doesn't catch Volkan out. Kaziski with another banger right off the top of the block. That's where he's aiming the whole time. He's not hitting down at all. He's hitting hard and high and at the hands. And it's working really well. Fine pass from Gökçen. What an attack. Ekşi gives it through the middle to Tümer, and he has been so dynamic, so aggressive today in everything he's done. Right then, so we've had Leao being the hero for Halkbank and putting them back in the mix in set 4. It's time for Jean Patry to take on that role. Superhero stuff from Jean Patry. The scores are level. Makes up for getting blocked by Kaziski as he delivers the ace. Alexander Swivka onto the court to try and provide a bit of passing stability, but gets welcomed by an absolute thunderbolt from Patry. Swivka being asked to look at that serve in real time on the replay. It's the area of court Patry likes to serve at, between 6 and 5. And he produces so many different shots, a lot of variety with this serve when he gets it right. Is causing real problems, and the timeout is a good one from Stoichev. It's the second timeout used. Challenge is gone as well. All about Halkbank on court now. Changes the angle this time. Hits Swivka, he was hidden away there. But Swivka produces a good enough ball, and Kaziski, who had a good long chat to one of the assistant coaches during that break. Kaziski listening to the information and tipping well. Not tipping straight over the block, but tipping into 6. Deflection helped, but it's a good effort. Short 6, that was. Nice. Ma hasn't hit a ball in a while. Good choice from Ekşi. And once again, it's that dynamic feel to the attack, and Ma gets ever closer to 20 points with that one. All. Galatasaray still in with a shot at taking this to the tiebreaker. Gökçen to serve. Ma comes to the front line. I think that's good for Galatasaray to have Ma in the front court now. Good save. Good swing. Oh, good effort. Beautiful stuff. What a play from Galatasaray. And Kaziski blocked. Ulaş defends. Kaziski out, and that's one of the plays of the season. New setter on court, new opposite on court. Wright and Koch join the celebrations for Galatasaray. The pickup from Hassan was insane. In fact, it might have been Ergül. Either way, the libero kept his team in the match. And this set, 21-20. Gökçen to serve again. Off pacer, passed well by Kaziski. Back set is blocked. Great work again. Wright fires it out to Ma. Ulaş gets hands on the power tip. And Kaziski under pressure once more. Finds the floor. Classy hitting from Matti Kaziski. And then he goes back to the service line, and he's got what it takes to bring the heat. All. What a finish to this 4th set. Will it be a finish to the match? Halkbank ANKARA certainly hope so. Matti Kaziski looking to deliver here. 42-year-old puffing and blowing. Good shot. Pressure. Patry is blocked, but it's out. And it's great response from Galatasaray to keep their noses in front. Patry again finds that little bit of brilliance. Tümer's been a bit in and out with his serving today, but overall he's had a super game. Massive pass for that group of passers. Superstars of the game. Out of bounds. Pressure invited back in, although the next server is Tayaz. That isn't, or shouldn't, cause Galatasaray too many problems. In fact, my apologies, it's Sergio. Okay, well, he's got an ace in the game. Can't find one there, but forces it out of system. Galatasaray hit hard, defend well, and he had no idea. Oh, goodness! No idea what was happening there. Was expecting the setter, I think, but the middleman just stood and waited. And Tayaz here should have been bouncing that up for Leao to win the point. Instead, he just stands and watches it, and Leao's giving him an absolute telling off. 23-22, Galatasaray fortunate to have the lead. Patri into the front court. Good hands on the ball from Mar. Ulash goes there again to Dilmenla. What a wonderful shot cross court, still in play. The defence from Galatasaray is fantastic. Oh my word. Well, that's two of the best points you are going to see this season, and both of them delivered by Galatasaray. Phenomenal defence. Patri off 2 feet and over. Patri's first, then it was off the foot of number 21 Romy Alonso. Over the ball, over the net, and on they go. Well, it's going to get looked at, but if this turns out to be a legitimate point, it is every bit as good as the pickup we saw from Yana Ergul just a little earlier. And the block by Mar, well, it was, I mean, Stephen Mar at his best. I think the debate here is that two challenges have gone, but it's being looked at by the referee. It is down. It is down. Kenneth Aro, on closer inspection, decides this ball hit the floor, and the point will not go to Galatasaray, and it isn't one of the points of the season. It just felt like it at the time. Here we go. Bounces off the floor, off the shin of Patri, into the foot of Alonso and over. It was an optical illusion. Still a great block by Stephen Mar, whatever happened. Well, it's Challenge City at the moment. Galatasaray looking at things now, are they? Challenge music is playing. Dilmenla and Ekşi have had a little word at the net there, two Turkey teammates, and it's Dilmenla for crossing the centre line. He's legal though. He's legal. That was on the swing that was defended as it was illegally by Patri. What a dramatic finish to this fourth set. It isn't set points, it's 23-all, and it's Dilmenla with the pressure of the serve. He wanted to get on with that, and the facial expression there from the young man isn't a positive one. Didn't want a timeout to be called. He wanted to hit his serve, and he's got to go through his whole pre-serve routine again. Gardini with a good timeout, and just needs his players here to be focused, but more than that, he needs Dilmenla to be affected at the service line. The Halkbank fans going to have a late finish here by the looks of it, and it could get even later. Well, how much does he commit to this serve? This is a big ask. Taji comes back in for Tayaz, and Tayaz just not switched on in that earlier point. Here we go, here we go. Risk and reward, how much risk does Dilmenla want to take? A lot of pressure on the 21-year-old. Hits it well, hits it out. Set point then arrives at last for Galatasaray. It's Stephen Marr to serve. That's a great player to have at the line at this point. Can he hold his nerve? Chance to take it to the tiebreaker for the visitors, Galatasaray. Schottler back in. Out of bounds from Marr. Overtime required. 2 clear points to win the set. Well, full credit to Leal in his late 30s, Kaziski in his 40s, Ulash mid-40s for their fitness in this match in these later stages. Leal then, thunderbolt serve, just about defended, big shot for Gökçen. It's defended down the line by Schottler. Kaziski, oh, tremendous hit. That is just incredible vision from Matti Kaziski. Cometh the hour, cometh the main men. Leal with the serving, Kaziski with the finish. And out of nowhere, Halkbank ANKARA have a match point. Leal, big serve, tight, defended, it's in play. And Kaziski is blocked. They play it again. Galatasaray go again, and Gökçen puts it home. Oh my goodness. Now what is Volkan talking to his coach about here? He is convinced there was an infringement mid-rally that he wants to challenge. Does he have challenges left? As the first match point of the game is saved by this never say die Galatasaray team. Well, I think that's what he wants to look at. Feels there was a net touch on the block. It's Volkan's call. It's not happening. He's asking for the challenge, but he's already had two. He's already had 2 challenges. He's going to get a card here. He's going to get a yellow card. Well, the referee's being incredibly patient and tolerant here, and Andrea Gardini is quite rightly making his views known. He feels the card should be out right now. There's nothing to discuss. There we go, time delay. Yellow card issued for Radostin Stoichev, who's rather lost his composure on the sidelines at the moment. So 1 set point saved, 1 match point saved, 1 hell of a game still to be decided. Romy Alonso, in amongst all of that, has to keep his composure for the service. Short one on Leal, well passed. Leal with a good enough ball to allow Ulash to send it wide, high and fast to Kaziski. And Leal's loving this, that Kaziski is still making these points. And making them for fun off the double Olympic champion Patry. Match point number 2 arrives. Again, it's not the toughest server at the line. He does have a couple of aces in the match. Baltaji, can he find something here? It's a good serve. Marr's in trouble on the pass. Out of system, Patry. Defended. Oh, it's good blocking. That's really good blocking from Gökçen. The defence was tentative from Baltaji and it floated over the net. Ulash got up a good challenge, but Gökçen reacted nicely. Great block from him. 2 match points saved. Patry now, tough server, ace serve, and now he puts Galatasaray in a set-winning position again. Set point number 2 for the visitors. Oh, this is unbelievable volleyball. 27-26, Patry to be the hero. Fabulous serve, Volkan passes well. Kaziski can't put it away, but it's still in play. Kaziski again, blockers all over him, but he's over the top. Oh, that is a nerveless hit from Kaziski. 2 in a row. Blockers knew where it was going. Ekşi gets everybody out the way, and maybe that cost them a well-organised block. Gökçen just did not get the memo. He didn't know what was going on. 27 all, 2 set points saved. Good pass. Out of the back line, Patry tips. Pancake from Leal. Schottler gets a swing on it, can't put it away. Patry again, too good. Too good from Jean Patry. Set point number 3, Galatasaray. Well, if the visitors win this set, all of the momentum, all of the passion is with them. Forget the fans here in the arena for Halkbank. The noise here will all be Galatasaray. Not this time, not this time. Brave defence, but Kaziski has yet another finish. And now, a tough server, Kaziski goes to the line. Unbelievable stuff. 3 set points saved by Halkbank. No, Kaziski out of luck. He's had such a good set. He's been brilliant for Halkbank in the latter stages, but can't find the serve. And it's down to Ahmed Tümer. Set point number 4, and with the match that he's had so far this evening, you wouldn't bet against him acing this. Gives it everything, but too much. He's trying to smile his way through things at the moment. Is Radostin Stoichev. He's been disciplined by the referees, the yellow card. No sanction, just a warning. Back into the front court comes Baltaji. Ertuğrul with the serve, it's a good one. Patry out of the back line, he's blocked. And he's blocked well enough for the point. Leal gives it to the crowd, and the crowd love him. And they give it back in equal measure. Oh, stunning from Leal. His second monster block on Patry this evening. Ertuğrul with the serve again. Match point number 3 arrives for Halkbank. Where does he go? Ekşi sets middle. What a ball! What a ball! Oh, this is fantastic stuff from Ekşi. Nerves of steel as he goes to Alonso. And Baltaji left flat-footed on the floor. 3rd match point saved. 30 all. We play on. Ekşi passed well by Volkan, out of the back line. Kaziski is blocked, they have to replay it. Leal, thunderbolt, he's dug. Ulaş goes there again and he's blocked. Patry gets revenge. It's monster everything right now. And the Frenchman shuts down the Brazilian. That's huge. Set point number 5 for Galatasaray in this electrifying match. Kaziski passes well. Ulaş to Schottler. Schottler's hit it out. No, he's caught the corner. He's caught the corner according to the referee, and I think that decision's been given in light of the fact that he knew Andrea Gardini still had a challenge available, and that's avoided one heck of an altercation, shall we say. But it is all going to come down to the video, and Andrea Gardini thinks it's out. The video shows it's in. Would you believe it? Oh, this is one of the best games we've seen all season. Anywhere in the world. 31 all. Schottler, mighty save from him, good serve. Mar pounds it home. Not a chance for the defenders or the blockers. Beautiful set from Ekşi. That is a swing. Well, Schottler did not look happy after that defence. I wonder if he's going to stay on court for the fifth, if that's where we're going. Ma all the way back round to him again. And set point number 6 goes begging. Stephen Ma into the net. Marek Schottler can barely walk out there. Well, he started the set, Schottler. He's come back in for Dilmenle. He has to stay out there. 32 all. Leao has got to win it for them here. Hits a good serve, but it's well passed. Gökçen, good hit. Leao can't keep it in play. Gökçen this time the hero with the save. Alonso gets a second go at serving for the set. 7 set points now for Galatasaray Istanbul. Halkbank have to go again. Good leave. That's a good leave. I think Leao was toying with Galatasaray there. Well, I wonder what Schottler's going to be like when he gets back to the front line, if he's going to be able to jump. Anyway, Baltaji looking for ace number 3 of the evening. It's a good serve, it's a great pass from Ma. It's superb volleyball from Galatasaray. Their side-out game at the moment is impeccable. And it's Gökçen again. What a hit through the seam. Well, all your money here, surely. Jean Patry for the set. Set point number 8. Not the ace, but it's pressure. Kaziski is defended this to take it to a 5th set. Patry! He's hit it long. Oh no. Wow. Ulash goes to serve. Schottler is in the front court to block, but I'm not sure if he can get off the floor. Marek Schottler, his calf looks done. Anyway, 34 all. 8 set points saved, 3 match points saved. We go again. Over on 2. Not the most convincing from Arslan Ekşi, but he's made it work. He'll tell you it was never in doubt. Cheeky point from the Galatasaray captain. 35-34. On we go. Gökçen serves with set point number 9. Into the net, trying for the off-pacer. Who's next? Who's next in this never-ending queue of servers? It is Mati Kaziski at 35 all. Missed his last one, but this is time for the class of Kaziski to shine through again. Good serve. Pass is excellent. Patry out of the back line, off the top of the fingertips, and away. Lobs the defenders. Well, so many players, along with Patry, have held their nerve in the latter part of this set. It's another belting hit. You don't often get to this point in a match, but it's set point number 10 for Galatasaray. Leao favourite to get the ball here, with Schottler injured. It's a good pass off a tough serve. Leao isn't given the ball. Schottler is. Why? Why is the question that Leao is asking of his setter? The answer really doesn't matter. All that matters is that Galatasaray takes set point number 10 on a massive Stephen Ma block. And the set, the 4th set, goes to Galatasaray, and we are going to a tiebreaker. What a game of volleyball. Well, if you cast your mind back to the contested point where Dilmenle hit the ball off the floor and into the shin and it was played on, that was a block by Stephen Ma on the opposite. He's had to wait 6 rotations to do it all again. 37-35. Scoreline nearly as old as some of the players out there on the floor. They are giving us some classic entertainment in this one. What we love about sport, isn't it? The light and the shade. Some games straight over in 3 sets, and that's where it looked like this game was going. But no, Galatasaray HDI ISTANBUL putting on a magnificent show to come back in the 4th. 10th set point eventually claimed for 37-35, and we have a 5-set thriller on our hands here on Volley TV. Well, it's a game that promised to deliver much, and even in the absence of Tomasz Jecki, the American left-sider for Galatasaray, they've managed to find a way to play. Very impressed with the way that the youngster has held his nerve. Gökçen Yüksel out on the wing. He's done a tremendous job stepping into some big shoes to fill in the absence of Jecki. He's played marvellously well. 25-18, 25-19, 2-0 Halkbank. And what a comeback from Galatasaray. 25-18, 37-35. The momentum is surely with Galatasaray. And they have a golden opportunity to make it 2 wins from 2 in Pool B if they can take it over the line here. Look at that from Stephen Marr. He is bouncing. Conversely, the body language for the team in the dark shirts, Halkbank ANKARA at home here, it's not so positive. Wow, wow, what a wide open finish to this match. Well played both teams, well coached both coaches to get us to such a spectacular conclusion. And here's one of the Galatasaray heroes on the night, Jean-Patry to serve. Away we go then. It's the race to 15, the tiebreaker set. Hammered by Patry to start set number 5, and the response is stinging from Halkbank through the middle. All set to Metan Ertuğrul. First point is on the board. Halkbank it is, Halkbank that need the win, but it's a tortuous route so far. Patry has been exceptional. Patry, Marr, Gökçen have provided Ekşi with some seriously good side-out firepower. And then Tümer through the middle has just put a little bit of icing on the cake. Gökçen didn't hold his nerve during set 4 when the set point serves were there, but puts it in play. Whipped onto the baseline. And a second middle ball by Ertuğrul. Giving someone a right stare down. Well, he's roofed Patry twice. Patry then blocked him by way of revenge in set 4. And Kaziski hasn't put a serve in 3. Galatasaray level again. Fans holding up the block cards, but it's the attack that's important here. Shotala. Well, you have to say, where was that when he got blocked one-on-one against Ma? Just adjusts his shot this time to make the play off Ma's block. Still looks uncomfortable, doesn't he, with that painful calf. 3-2 Halkbank. Good, puts it in court. Fine set to Patry, but Patry doing enough. Well, the home fans thought that was Halkbank's point. Baltaji just didn't get his hands over the net, and Patry's managed to shove it down the front. I think he's enjoyed himself tonight. He's the veteran setter. Well, both veterans have, and that's going to be against Halkbank. No, it isn't. Referee has decided backcourt setter, but Alash is making the point. He was setting this ball, and as he was setting the ball, the blocker blocked it. You can't form a block as a backcourt player in front of the attack line. You can't play it over the net from above the height of the net, but you've got to be allowed to set it. And with relatively little argument, Halkbank let that go, but I think Ulash will feel aggrieved there. Galatasaray sneak to 4-3. Deep serve, Volkan pass as well. Leal power tips it down. Absolute slingshot then from the Brazilian. Son swapping roles with the other libero, Ergül, all evening. They've done tremendously well to keep it together as well. Good serve from Shotala. Ma passes nicely, gets the return ball, can't put it away. Chance here for Halkbank. Leal steams in and drills it to the corner. But Chen can't defend it. To go again, Halkbank sneak into the lead. It's back and forth this fifth set. Clever. Oh, Alonso has just played a brilliant shot. That ball came underneath his armpit, all the way along the length of his arm, and he knew it wasn't hittable. Audacious set from XG, but a really clever piece of work from the middle. Alonso. 5-all, Ma to serve. He was out of luck on set points in set 4. Can he find something in the tiebreaker? Again, the old switcheroo. I'm not sure it's doing the Halkbank passes a lot of favours. Ace for Stephen Ma. You switch, you then have to dance about and get settled, and if the server hits it before you're ready, you're struggling. Galatasaray with a golden opportunity. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. This is not a match they should be winning, let alone contesting. They've got a real opportunity here. Timeout called. First timeout of set number 5, called by Radostin Stoichev. Your role here, your function here as a coach is really clarifying your players' minds, your players' thinking through the next few rotations. They have to know exactly what they're supposed to be doing, exactly where the points are going to come from. Well, this feels like the first big point of set 5. Halkbank need the side out just to keep the scoreboard moving. Stephen Ma needs a big serve to give Galatasaray a small cushion, something to work with. This time they stay where they are. Good pass from Volkan. He hasn't contributed a lot in offence tonight, Baltaji, but he's given the ball by Ulash and he whips it onto the floor for 6-all. Good side out for Halkbank ANKARA. It still feels like Patry or Leal could be the decisive element in this match. Not with serving into the net though. Leal out of luck this time, and he's played so brilliantly to give his team a chance. See how the scoring works, see how the points work, but Leal, will he be back at the service line at crunch time at the back end of the fifth? We'll see. Six. Galatasaray to serve. She and Ma in deep conversation. Good pass that from Koziski. Gets the return ball and absolutely bounces it and allows himself a little celebration there. Interesting move. Alexander Swivka's into the game. Leal just given a couple of rotations on the bench. Swivka to pass. Baltaji, he follows Leal's serve with another one into the net, and round we go. 8-7, Galatasaray lead as we change ends. It's been a phenomenal game of volleyball, whoever wins it. From a neutral point of view, this is classic entertainment, the CEV Champions League. Patry then puts a good ball in. He's annoyed with himself that he's hit the passer and not the seam. And Schottler limps in for another hit. He's playing through the pain right now, Schottler. Protecting that calf on his landing, trying to land all right leg. 8-all then. Captain Ulash serves. Good hit from Gochen. Nice defense. Koziski gets in his setter's way, feeds Schottler, but it's defended by Galatasaray again, and they make another very smooth point. Well, Tumes stayed on the floor quite a while after that. I think he's okay. He's put in a hell of a shift. Stays down. I think he was just enjoying the moment. Koch in. Is it the double substitution, or is it just a point blocker? They're going to throw a dice here, they are, so no setter on the floor. And she returns to the bench. Koch brings his height to the net. And that's a shocker. Koch can't believe it. That'll be his last contribution, unless it's the double substitution. That'll be his last contribution to the match. And that's a big ask from Gardini if he's going to do that. No. Wright and Koch return to the bench. Double sub doesn't last. Koch is not happy. Goodness me. Well, the pressure is building and the servers are struggling now. Bulgarian having a bit of a go at the other one. Coach Stoichev not happy with Koziski. Galatasaray 10-9. One of the stars of the evening, Timat. Wicked hit. He hits it so hard. And he's still got the energy and the quality at the back end of a very long game to deliver shots like that. Well played, Johan de Leal. Here we go again. Patry could still have an influence on the outcome. Does enough with it. Not the best hit. But he's managed to pinball it between the arms of the blockers and away. had him there. Challenge. Is this from Radostin Stoichev? Well, it's a challenge for infringement on the attack line. It's nowhere near, so that's a wasted challenge. That's gone. Mind you, instead of a timeout, just gets a bit of delay before Aslan Ekşi serves. Solid pass from Leal. Gets the return ball, not the set he wanted. Chance here. Ma has to volley. Galatasaray not making the most of it. And they get punished. They get punished. Alonso was next to Patri, up against Leal, who's definitely feeling it now. Brutal match. He still does the job. Back to the sometimes dangerous shot a serve. 11-all. Halkbank's serving rhythm has deserted them completely. Galatasaray not having to work for their side-outs at all. It's robbing Halkbank the opportunity to win points on the block. Mar again had a good serve earlier in this fifth set, the Canadian. Puts another good one over the net, but not in court. Decent leave that from the pass. Menla in. No setter on court then for Halkbank. There was a setter on court for Galatasaray in their last substitution, but they've used the double and it's gone. Not sure we're going to see the double here. I think this is just about the block. Leal puts it in with pressure. Oh, it's nice. That's great defence though. And the little spinning tip from Kaziski isn't good enough. The block is though. The block from Dilmenla. And Bartaji is huge. And it's monster time again. Oh, brilliant, brilliant stop. Well, that's how you make your substitution work. Blocker brought in, Leal gets a bit of pressure on it. And 2 blocks required, but they get it done. Galatasaray find themselves a point down again. First time out for coach Andrea Gardini. Not an evening for the faint-hearted, this one, that's for sure. It's been a hell of a tussle. That's why we love the Champions League, because these are the matches you get week in, week out. There's some absolute stunners. Leal and Halkbank playing for their lives at the moment in Pool B. They haven't got a win yet. 2 points away from getting that sorted. Great serve, what a pass though. And Patri does his job again. Pings it off the fingertips. And away. Took him 2 sets to come to life, Jean Patri, but since set 3 he has been just magnificent. 13-all. Romy Alonso has a hybrid serve option. He can hit a good topspin off this float ball toss. It's it tamely though. Good pass from Leal. Kaziski manufactures another fantastic slime swing. Goodness me, he has made some unbelievable shots. Real pressure moments. There's Madi Kaziski. So out comes Bartaji, despite his 2 ace serves. The opportunity to serve and play defence goes to a player that hasn't featured in the game so far tonight. Brody Hofer of Canada is in for Halkbank to try and make something happen on their 4th match point of the evening. 3 match points in set number 4. Did Halkbank, couldn't take any of them. Match point 4 arrives along with a timeout from Andrea Gardini. Oh, what's the timeout? I don't know if the timeout was called by Radostan Stoichev there, just to make sure his troops were organised. Well, Ulashi's front court, so that's an area where Seta Ekşi will be looking to exploit, but it's all going to come down to the serve of Canadian Brody Hofer. It's a good serve, but it's just wide. Oh, what a ball to take on after being on the bench for 5 sets. They needed it to go in, but it wasn't a bad effort. The problem they have now is Jean Patry. No, it was a side out for Gardini. So the side out, the second timeout, sorry. It was a timeout for Gardini. The second timeout then for Radostan Stoichev is now used to delay Patry at the service line. Big moment in the match. Jean Patry for Galatasaray. It's a good shot. This to go back to match point. Kaziski makes it happen. The magician, Mati Kaziski. Off the block and out. Good decision on the blocking lineup, just didn't quite work. Match point number 5. Arrives for Halkbank. Ulash puts it in court. Big front line for Halkbank. Not big enough to stop Jean Patry. And we're going again into overtime. 2 clear points required. And if it's anything like set number 4, the tag 5-set thriller will most definitely apply. 15 all then. Gökçen to serve. Pacer well passed by Volkan on the back set to Schottler. That is a very nice swing. Moving a little easier now, Marek Schottler. Match point number 6, Mati Kaziski, a chance to atone for earlier service errors. Good hit. This to stay in the game. Oh, it's a very, very nice swing from Stephen Maher under pressure. And it's good, clear setting decisions from Aslan Ekşi of Galatasaray. Saved it and saved it and saved it tonight. And Maher saves match point number 6. No match point yet for Galatasaray. 16 all. Can Timur take them there? The former Fenerbahce man. It's a good swing, but it's stopped by the net. Oh, that is a daring set. That is a crazy ball to Ertuğrul. Once again, Ulaş Kıyak's showing nerves of steel to deliver that ball and put away well for match point number 7 in this epic encounter. Metin Ertuğrul to serve. It's a good one. It's a great pass though. And Patry out of the back line is roofed. And at last, Bartaci has his man. Halkbank have their victory. And it's win number 1 this season in the CEV Champions League. And an emotionally charged one at that. That was an incredible game to watch, an incredible game to be involved in. And Andrea Gardini is still protesting that he's been denied a challenge. Kenneth Aro is having nothing to do with it. The Finnish referee is stepping down from the stand. And Andrea Gardini has not managed to get his challenge away. What a block, what a block. And what a finish to an epic game. Halkbank Ankara beat Galatasaray HDI Istanbul by 3-2. Well, not really a surprise that at the end of such an emotionally charged game, you're going to have a few exchanges between the players. That was some contest. 25-18, 25-19, Halkbank took the lead. 25-18, 37-35 with 10 set points. Galatasaray hit back. But in the end, it is the Halkbank Ankara team that get it over the line in set 5. Once again in overtime. Love it. They're going to sleep well tonight, those two. We are deep into the night here in Ankara. So, MVP to be announced at the end of the match. There's a whole host of players that it could be. But it's not going to be from the Galatasaray side. It's top scorer Yoandi Leal. Tremendous effort from Leal for his team. And he is voted most valuable player on the night. Give them their high fives. There you go. Well, he's won that award on many, many occasions down the years for delivering in such huge matches. Stephen Marr, nice touch. Nice touch, that's a bit of class from the Canadian wing spiker, just saying a big well done to all of the opposition players. It's a tough one to take for Galatasaray. It's an evening where they weren't expected to compete, let alone take this all the way, and they were very, very close to winning that. But Halkbank showing tremendous character to come through it in a real battle of a 5th set. Well played then to the home team. And very well played to the visitors. Galatasaray have put on a super performance, minus 2 starting players. Andrea Gardini, I think, will be very, very happy with his players for their efforts tonight. Here we go, father and son with a quick walk down the line. Nice to see. Nice to see moments like that. And then, of course, across to the faithful fans, the fans that make things so special week in, week out. The victory photo goes to Halkbank Ankara. They follow up their 3-0 loss to Lublin away from home with a 3-2 victory at home to Galatasaray to open their account in this season's CEV Ziraat Group Champions League. Well, I know there's a lot of knowledgeable volleyball fans out there in Eurovolley TV land, and you will know that you've just been treated to a classic. Really fabulous game of volleyball between these two sides. Both teams putting on a great show. The big names delivering when it really mattered. But that was a stunning performance in the end by Halkbank ANKARA to hold their nerve under severe pressure. Some really good efforts there. And nice to see the players just taking a bit of time with each other now. Huge result then here in Ankara for the home team. It's the first win on the CEV Champions League for Halkbank ANKARA this season. And thoroughly deserved after a really, really tough game. That's all then for tonight. Thank you very much for your company here on Eurovolley TV. Let's just hear from the coaches before we head off.
We lived a lovely volleyball atmosphere in this hall. What were the turning points that lead to victory tonight?
No, I cannot say one point. It was a very nervous game, and both of the team they deserve the victory. I appreciate the approach of Galatasaray team because they fight until in the last point. I think that we needed to win 3-1. In the fourth set, we lost a lot of opportunity, but also I'm not agree with 3 decision because Aslan blocked from the second line. He touched the ball from the second line, and 4 touches also in another situation, and we need to close the game there. After this, the game became really nervous, and we was lucky to win this game. I know this, I understand this, but I'm happy. I'm happy because sometimes when you work hard, you need also luck.
You reached the first victory in the Champions League. What should I say on this issue?
The first important thing is to recover the players, because how you see we play without Sokolov today, and to prepare the team for the second part of the not only Champions League but also the Turkish Championship. And we need to work. We need to work, and we need to stay on the floor without think that we are something special, because it's not like this. There is so good team in the Champions League and also in Turkish Championat, so we need to work.
Thank you and good luck on your way.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Evet, Stoichev'in görüşlerini aldık. Stoichev öncelikle
very fair assessment there
takımında
from Radistin
kazanmayı
Stoichev
hak ettiği bir
to the
karşılaşma olduğunu
situation.
öncelikle altını çizdi. Her iki takım da kazanabilirdi. Her iki takım da galip
Thanks for your company
gelebilirdi
then
dedi.
over the last
Hemen
couple of
arkasından
hours here in
ekledi.
Ankara. It's been a
Sonrasında
really,
bizim
really
takım
good game
kazandı.
of
Çünkü
volleyball,
özellikle
and I hope we
dördüncü
got plenty
setteki
more of those to come
oldukça
before the end of the
tartışmalı
season. From me,
kararlar
Simon
vardı.
Golding,
Bu
I'll
tartışmalı
say
karar
goodbye.
eğerliğinde sonuçlansa galip gelen taraf biz olacaktık dedi. Ancak tabii ki burada kazanmanın da çok önemli olduğunun altını çizdi. Ve yanımızda bir başka önemli isim Shotola var. Shotola ile devam edeceğiz. Yes, Shotola, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Your friend Leal has been chosen the MVP of the game. I actually underline your performance. I'd like to underline your performance. How do you evaluate your individual performance and your team's performance also?
I think it's the most important that like the whole team, we stay together even we were leading 2-0. They come back. It was always like tight the end of the set. So I think we should deserve like the whole team one big trophy MVP. It's not individual players. It's the whole team, you know, with everybody, with the staff, everybody.
What about the struggle? What should I could say about struggle? Both teams struggle actually.
Yeah, it was a hard game, you know. It's top teams in Turkey, and even if you are 2-0 in front, it's not end of the game. Like we start to play a little bit lower than before, and they come back, which we didn't want. But on the end, we won. So thanks God, we have the win, and it's so important for us. It's even like give us more chance to work 3-2 than if we win 3-0, because 3-0 we would feel like maybe it would easy. So I'm just proud of everybody. It's amazing feeling.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Evet, Malek Shotola ile röportajlarımızın sonuna geldik. Kendisi aslında Sokolov'un Stoichev'in de bahsettiği gibi sakattı Sokolov. Onun yerine bugün forma şansı buldu ve oldukça da iyi mücadele etti. Kendisinin performansını ve takım arkadaşlarının performansını sordum. Aslında Leal'in kazandığı MVP ödülü için aslında bu tüm takım olarak alınan bir başarıydı. İyi mücadele ettik ve önemli olan burada galip gelmekti. Biz de bunu başardık dedi Çek oyuncu diyelim ve bu şekilde artık yayınımızın da Başkent Voleybol Salonu'nda bu voleybol şöleninin de sonuna geldiğimizi altını çizerek sözü tekrar sevgili Alperen sana bırakalım.